Ladies and gentlemen, how's your July 4th? Did you watch some fireworks? Did you make some hot dogs, burgers, impossible? July 4th's a good time, man. Y'all know my patriotism, right? Y'all know my patriotism runs deep. It's not a matter of just I'm just so proud of America. It's just a matter of like you can just do whatever you want here, bro. You can literally do anything here. I get it. There's a lot of things that are bad. There's a lot of things that are good. And July 4th, man, I didn't realize how much people emphasize it until I got much older. You know, where it's just like an excuse. It's an excuse. July 3rd comes around. Most people have it off. July 4th. Now you got grown-up money, right? Growing up as a kid, all we would do is just kind of go to this area in Grand Prairie. We would sit on top of the van, open up the trunk. You know what I'm saying? We would have these blankets that we would just lay out. You sit on them. Maybe you got a couple snacks. Fireworks are going off. Ooh, yay. And they used to be a show, right? These fireworks used to be a show. You'd always see this time where it's like, oh, shit, you know, like they're really going off. Now this is a spectacular. Oh, my gosh. And then you sit in traffic for 30 minutes going home. And that's it. Then when you get older, it all just becomes about, oh, this is just a good excuse to party. And that's what it is. I think that's the best definition of it, right? All of this anti-America energy out in the world. All of this anti-America energy out in the world. And then for one day, everyone pipes down for a little bit. I was a little worried. I thought, okay, July 4th, people, kind of off of their rocker this year. Something would go down. Ended up nothing happening. I mean, some shit happened, right? There was a flood. People died. Very tragic. But we're not going to talk about that because I don't have any knowledge on it. July 4th is a good time. I saw people laid out with like American flag towels outside. Who is using an American flag towel on a day-to-day? That's just unaesthetic. Martha Stewart would never approve of that. What did you do this July 4th? Good time? Nah? We went to a family house. We went to a family's house out in Huntington Beach, hung out with them, played some games, ate some food. They got Mediterranean food. I'm not going to lie. That kind of made me mad a little bit. I'm grateful for them, right? They did a lot for us. They hosted us. They fed us. But Mediterranean food? What? And they're great people. Oh my gosh. But the issue is I liked it. That chicken and hummus sometimes is just unbeatable. And then on the side, there were a couple of brats, you know what I'm saying? And brats, I don't know what it is. There's no way brats can be healthy at all. When you crunch into a bratwurst, there's no chance that that's healthy. No matter how much protein comes from it, there's no way that's healthy. July 4th's a good time, man. And I hope it kind of gave people some type of little sense check of like, all right, you know what? It's not too bad here. There's people out on the streets every week, but it's not too bad here. Hey, actually, quick story. I was at work today and this dude, a dude started first day. I probably shouldn't share the story, but the podcast needs some views. So here we got a story. Dude starts first day and he comes in relatively early, 8 a.m. ish. And, he's getting his little one-on-one from the head engineer, and he's kind of telling him, like, okay, like, you need to download this, open your laptop, yada, like the basic stuffs. And he keeps talking. And, like, when you first start at a job, do you just go in talking? Or do you, like, personally, I'm kind of a shy person. I have the podcast, yada, yada, but, like I am a relatively shy person at first, depending on the environment. But at work, I like to enter and then, see what the vibe is, see what the volume is, and then you kind of insert yourself, right? You get to the volume that everyone else is at. This dude just kept talking. And he kept on saying, at Meta, we did this. Oh, man, if you did this at Meta, oh, man, Meta would never let you do this. Oh, man, my time at Meta. And it was just like, hey, bro, we get it. You used to work at Meta. And in my head, I was just like, okay, so then why are you here? Right? This isn't really a step up. And then halfway through the day, 11:30 a.m. rolls around. Let's say noon. Let's give him a couple more hours. And look, this is bad, right? I shouldn't be joking around about this. He says, my wife called and the National Guard has come in and shut down the street and have told LAPD to leave. And the week before, there was this lady with $8,000 worth of camera equipment going around taking pictures. Hey, bro, you sharing too much. Just go home. You have not met any of these people in your life. Go home and take care of what you got to take care of. If your wife is scared, go home. But just leave. Just say, hey, I got a little emergency at home. I got to go. All right, cool. But you start this whole elaborate storytelling. At some point, I was going to look up the neighborhood. And see, was he telling the truth? But it's so wild also where it's like, is this true? In my area, there's you don't really see anything. There's no roads shut down. You don't see any ICE agents. You don't see any protests. But you go like maybe a couple minutes north, and they're shutting the national securities out here, shutting stuff down. July 4th weekend, there was this fear of like, oh my gosh, there could be these fires that, from everyone doing all these fireworks and stuff. And bro, when we were driving back that night, it was like diddly out here, bro. Dilly, bro. Just nothing but smog all over as you're driving. Everyone and their mom doing fireworks. From this point of vantage right here, you got a group right there, a little farther in the distance. Everyone's doing them. And personally, I'm just not a fan. I think it's because I live in this glass building, so that noise just be bouncing like a mug. Like it's terrifying. It's terrifying. I don't mind, if you're just in a house and you got a little brick to, filter out that noise. But man, I was not a fan, especially, throughout the night. Throughout the night, it's like, all right, bro, I'm trying to sleep. But nonetheless, happy Independence Day. We are back with the podcast. I apologize for missing last week, but boy, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. And I want to start with good old Diddy. Diddy. Oh, I wanted to start the whole podcast with a song. What's a Bad Boys? I don't know which song to start with. So leading into this Diddy trial, right? I don't know how much y'all have kept up with it, but, I keep like a passing view on it. Did y'all think he was going to get acquitted? Personally, I did. I think whenever the Fed starts to raid your shit, at that point, they have enough to probably get something on you. They probably have something to stick to you. And then based on all the other stuff they find, they got, a larger case. They can prove more of the counts that they're pushing against you. But as kind of these stories started coming out, and remember, like we kind of lose the transparency as you would get from like the Depp versus Heard trial, where, you're seeing it every day and all of the internet starts having opinion. You have all these kind of internet sleuths that go on and make their own case. And then you just get so much more information. But from the Diddy trial, you just get a lot of speculation. You get, Ashton Kutcher was at that party. Oh, Jay-Z was, Beyonce. Like, you don't get a lot of, like, no one was out there saying, yeah, he did this. He trafficked this girl. He did this to this girl. There was the infamous tape, right? There was the one tape that would make you think like, yo, this dude's got to go away for something. Where he's beating up this girl in front of the elevator. And what the fuck is this? But if you look at that tape and you look at all the stuff that they were trying to charge him for, you start getting this idea of like, oh shit, they're going for the moon on this. And what I feel like the issue is when they try to start doing that is as soon as something doesn't fully add up, when you can prove this guy innocent for maybe one of the counts, then you start thinking, okay, maybe he's not guilty for all of them. And I don't have the exact details in front of me, but basically he was guilty to both of the intent to traffic or something. So both of those had a 10-year span. So at most he's facing up to 20 years. From my TikTok, research, I see that, more than likely he'll get 7. And on top of all that, I guess we all found out it's not a crime to be into some freaky shit. We all saw the photos of the baby oil. We all saw the photos of the baby oil. And never in my life have I entered a homeboy's house and have I seen multiple bottles of baby oil. Even if I see one bottle of baby oil, I'm like, hey, bro, what you think is going to go down tonight? Like, I'm here to play Mario Party. I'm not here to play with you. Imagine going to your boy's house and he has 1,000 bottles of baby oil in all different sizes and arrangements. Like, something has to go off in your head where it's like, hey, yo, maybe I don't want to show up to this party. But you also got to remember this is Hollywood, baby. This is Hollywood. People into some freaky shit out here. Take the Hollywood piece out of it. People like weird shit. Can we all agree on that? There is someone that you work with at work, or maybe you go with to at school, in your life, they're into some shit that they haven't told you. You know what I'm saying? You like chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry ice cream. They like eating rocks. They're into some weird shit. They you know what I'm saying? Like, you just cannot explain this stuff. And it exists. It exists everywhere. And so then you look at the accusations of like, oh, okay, yeah, this dude was doing this. This dude was doing this. Oh, yeah, he was having all the freak offs, right? They kept calling him the diddler and all these terms to basically kind of start the narrative, right? You want to kind of get this online narrative. So then the jury, who for sure is seeing the internet pressure, even though they're not supposed to, they start feeling this ceiling where it's like, oh shit, we got to kind of have to get this guy. But at the same time, you want to go off the facts. You want to go off of what's presented in front of you. And it's not a crime to be a freak, especially what made it sound like a consensual freak off. Now, the Cassie thing, look, yes, I think he should be acquitted for beating that lady. But if you can't prove all the other shit, like, this isn't the OJ case at all. I saw a lot of TikToks comparing it to that, and it's like, well, wait, bro, this is not that. Not even a slightest bit. The only similarity is that it's a black dude. And then, bro, y'all should have seen my TikTok feed was flooding with all these people pouring baby oil on their body outside the courtroom celebrating Diddy. And I really thought that there was no more Diddy fans left. The DJ that we hired for the after party, I was like, hey, man, like, I just need to make sure you going to play Chris Brown. She said, yeah, I'll play Chris Brown, but I just don't play Diddy. I said, wow. You know what I'm saying? It just took someone to do something worse in these people's eyes that they don't even know what he did. Chris Brown, you could at least point and prove, yeah, he was guilty of doing this. Oh, how do we know? Oh, because he told us that he literally admitted to, yes, I'm guilty of that. With the diddler stuff, we haven't seen any footage. We've seen a lot of weird things, right? But it was also very interesting how all these celebrities raved about the Diddy parties. Ellen DeGeneres, Jay-Z, LeBron James, J-Lo. All these people would rave about the Diddy parties. And then when this all started happening, they said, oh yeah, I was just in the front room at the party. I never went upstairs or anything. I never stayed after, 10 p.m. That's not me. Bullshit, bro. Never have I been at a party and you don't know what's going on a different floor or in a different room. And if you don't, then they probably looked at you like, man, he's probably going to snitch. Nah, he's no fun. You want to go do drugs? Let's go do it, without that dude. With the Diddy stuff, man, I don't know what the comeback looks like. But it's also just this idea of these cases that aren't that well put together. You start looking at, like, people blaming the jury, people blaming the, judge, all that stuff. It's like, it's just a bad case. Am I going to start just listening to Diddy again? Bro, I can't even name you 5 Diddy songs. I really don't. I never cared about him. I drank Ciroc. That's the thing that I'm most guilty of. I drank Ciroc. I didn't like it much. I had my boy Sean. He loved that berry, whatever berry, boysenberry. What the fuck was it called? But that's my biggest flaw, is that I leave hotel rooms too clean, and I drank Ciroc in college. Now then, I wanted to talk about, with great sensitivity, because I'm not trying to piss anyone off, the royal wedding. That's right, Jeff Bezos and his wife, who just like that became a billionaire. Imagine, bro. Sometimes I tell you, I said, man, bro, like, don't you wish you just like married rich? I get it. You're not a gold digger if you do this. You're just smart. Marrying rich is just a smart way, as long as the dude's decent, right? You ain't got to take any abuse or anything like that. But marrying rich, whether it's guy to girl, girl to guy, girl to girl, guy to guy, why not? Why not? Who wants to work a 9 to 5 for the rest of their life? Imagine someone asks you, what are you doing this Saturday? And you say, yeah, I'm going to space. What? How'd you afford that? Oh, my husband. Oh, what does he do for a living? Oh, I don't know. He just owns like the biggest conglomerate $1 trillion company in the world. Have you heard of it? It's called Amazon. Jeff Bezos and his wife, I'm forgetting, I don't remember her name right now at the moment, but they had their wedding out in Sicily, Italy? Let's see. Let me just ask these dudes. Okay, some more decent stuff. Date and location from the couple celebrated a multi-day wedding across Venice, culminating in a ceremony on San Giorgio Maggiore on June 27th. Estimates range from $50 million, with some saying between 47 and 56 million. 200 to 250 guests, including guests like Oprah, Gayle King, Leo, Kim and Khloe Kardashian, Tom Brady, Orlando. The list starts kind of going downhill when we start getting to the Queen. Oh, Queen Rania. Nice. Massive private jet. So everyone has this issue with billionaires being billionaires as of recent, right? Like, I'm from the cloth of, I would love to be a billionaire. We're not having the discussion of should billionaires exist, right? Well, let's assume that they do. I would love to be one. I would love to take a private jet a bunch of places. But, with this whole backlash of like, they don't pay enough taxes and their jet is letting off more fossil fuel than all this stuff, it's just not friendly to the environment, especially when these celebrities have kind of doubled down on themselves to say, oh, yeah, I really care about the environment and I'm donating this money. And then they get on a private jet and it's like, you got to just stop. Just stop pandering to this, movement of like, oh, yeah, I really care about that. You don't have to. You don't have to care about politics. You don't have to care about anything. You really don't have to. These people want you to. But you're a billionaire. And it's not like you got there doing some like holy shit, right? No one that is a billionaire got there doing something that was like amazing for the world. You can make the case of like the whole Jeff Bezos, oh my gosh, he really revolutionized this. And it's like, all right, but at the same time, like there has to be quite a large footprint from that company. The Prime Day is about to come up. And just think about how many fucking boxes that are going to be in your package room or on your street this week. Of just fucking boxes on boxes, and I used to be someone that used to be a little bit mindful. You know what? I'll try to get my cart a little bit decent size, and then I'll place one order. Now I don't give a fuck. Now I had fucking toilet paper in there. I place the order. Oh shit! I forgot about dish soap. All right, another order. You know what? I really do want some liquid death. Another order. You tell me that footprint doesn't add up? But oh well. Seriously, oh well. And that's like this whole pushback thing. Now you got a lot of things on top of this as far as like what it means to Venice. How do the people feel? Should he be able to do this? Now, personally, this isn't as big as like not the Mamdani. Who's the rich dude in India that held the like 5-week wedding? Ambani, the Ambani family. This is nothing close to that. But this is pretty dope, man. You telling me you wouldn't have wanted to go to this wedding? I would have loved to go to this. I could have danced. I could have Why didn't Jeff Bezos hit me up to choreograph his dances? Who, Leo's doing them? Have you guys ever been to Venice? It's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place. I would love to have gotten married in Venice. But it's not the easiest thing, right? You got to move people on boats. This thing is it's literally an island. To get around, you literally take these fucking little boats around in this canal. And it's a great place. The people are very nice. And you got to think, like, there's a lot of money being pumped into the city when something like this happens. See, my biggest disappointment is this. If I was Jeff Bezos, or if I was a billionaire, let's say, fuck it, millionaire, I don't know how much it costs, I would get married in the Coliseum. I would get married where people went to fucking start a, you know what I'm saying, just rip someone's head off. Where they used to open the gates and used to be like, all right, I'm going to fight till the death. You know, the history, the standing in the Coliseum and knowing, oh, shit, you know what I'm saying? This is grand. And I'm doing this for my wedding. Imagine all the people just sitting around where all these, fucking, Romans sat around eating popcorn with a Pepsi soda, watching all these warriors fight. And then you up there throwing rice into the fire. That's an iconic scene. You got to think a little bit bigger, Jeff. You got to think a little bit bigger. You're already going to piss people off, right? Just go for the moon at that point. So this whole royal wedding, I thought it was just funny seeing all these, all the backlash. There's just backlash to everything now. We already know that, right? There's backlash to everything. But I would have loved to gone to this. Have you ever been to Venice? Let me know in the comments, because as you may have noticed, it's a little bit of a mess behind me. That is right. I got a sewing machine here, a printer with some stencils. I got a kit on top of the Roomba. There's just Xbox headset, candle holders, Legos everywhere. I told y'all I'm out of here. And soon enough, I don't know how I'm going to roll the announcements out, but I'll do it right here. So make sure you subscribe, tell a friend. Don't text me. You know what I'm saying? I need to stretch these views. So make sure you subscribe, tell a friend, like, share, comment, subscribe. And the last thing I wanted to talk about today, and next week we'll get into more of this big, beautiful bill. Don't worry. I promise we have to cover it, because as you know, we talk everything Trump around here. The last thing I want to talk about is this Mamdani guy. So Zohran Mamdani, he was a mayoral candidate for the city of New York for the Democratic ticket. So he is not the, official mayor for New York yet, but he needs to extend a thank you to all the Indian people from UT, let's say the University of Illinois, USC, Miami, that have ended up in New York because they were sold this New York dream. And then they never left. And them being there and campaigning for this fellow Indian brother. I don't know if he's Indian, Muslim, or anything. His name's a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Who would have thought? Also, can we take a quick actually, no, I need to finish this thought. He needs to thank all these Indian people out in New York. Because, boy, I don't know how he did it. For the city of New York to vote on a guy that's the same skin color as the pinnacle of terrorism ever for that city. Ever. Like if you were racist to an Indian Muslim person in New York, I kind of get it. There's so many of us there now, though, so it's kind of hard. We've diluted the scene. We had to. We're smart people at the end of the day. We knew what we had to do. There was 5 of us there, and then people were like, oh, we should get them out of here. And we're like, okay, well, how about 500 of us? And they're like, oh, shit, we don't know who to get rid of. They all look the same. They're starting to do comedy now? Oh, I guess, they have restaurants. Wow, have you tried this buttered chicken? we assimilated to the scene. And now look, we got a brother going for office. And truly what my biggest worry was is I've seen this show before. I've seen this many times before. Two people that I thought of was one, Bernie Sanders, and two, this fella named Beto O'Rourke. And both of these brothers were very socialist. They wanted this like, ooh, everything should be free. Yeah, we should just have our clothes off and do everything we want. And people go for that. People love that shit. The issue is it never follows through. I did not have faith in this. When I saw the stories and stuff about, oh yeah, and we're not ranking Cuomo, I was like, damn, Cuomo's about to beat this brother in a landslide. And I don't know. Look, Mamdani definitely got some hits out there. Can we be real? Cuomo drops out of the race. He succeeds to Mamdani because it's like, oh, he's probably already going to win. This man, Mamdani, I am not going to speak any ill about him because this brother for sure has hits out there. There's no way that this brother, maybe third nephew to Mr. Osama, made it and won. Props to that brother, man. Because I don't know how they did it. He's got all these influencers now behind him. I looked at some of his, like his stances of, okay, yeah, well, I'm going to make all public transportation free. We're going to tax this and that. And it didn't sound that attractive to me. Right? I like the idea of a free bus and a free subway, but at the same time, like, how you going to maintain that shit? Anything free goes downhill very fast. As soon as you sign up for a free service, that shit's going to go bad really fast. I'm not saying there should be anything free, but there's got to be a middle ground here. And so when I saw this brothers, all this stuff, I was just like, I don't know about this. But it's interesting to see. He did it. Now we find out, a little bit later on. I don't even know when the New York stuff is, but we'll see if this guy actually pulls it off. So shout out Mamdani, bro. That's my boy. I'll go to New York and vote for him. Fuck it. We got this brother with Botox in his head trying to solve a problem every day and fighting Trump, and it's like, all right, bro, you've already failed the greatest weather in the world, right? San Francisco turned to a zombie town. This place is either on fire, you got people out in the streets. There's tanks rolling out on the streets. Does any city like their governor? Can you let me know? With all that being said, next week we are going to talk about that big, beautiful bill, along with this Lulubus. Is that what it's called? Lulubus? These things have all of a sudden become a $1 billion success overnight, and I've been seeing them all over backpacks, and it's become the new, now, because Furby wasn't even this rare, but like, it made me think about those Cause dolls, you know what I'm saying? Those like Mickey Mouse figures with like the X on the eyes, but this has gotten even bigger than that. So I'm going to try to look into some stuff and have a little presentation for y'all. Maybe a little PowerPoint, maybe a dashboard. I'm really good at those. With all that being said, it's been good to have y'all this week. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. Keep up to date. We got some fun stuff coming up. And with all that being said, I will see you next week. And goodbye.